welcome to our new video. So in the last video we saw how to download the SSMS SQL Server Management Studio and how to install it. Okay, so in today's video we are going to see how we can use some of the commands like creation of databases, how we can use the database, how we can create the tables. Also, if you have some flat files, Excel files or CSV files, how we can import those files into SQL Server Management Studio and create it as a table. Okay, so firstly we will connect to our server. Okay, as here we can see in the left pane there is one object explorer. So basically it will show all your server connections, it will show all your databases and other related things like security will have all the options of your access and roles. Okay, so as of now we don't have any database created here. We will start with database creation first. So now for creation of database we have two different options. Either we can simply do a query, create database and database name. That is one option. Second option is going through database here. Okay, from this left pane object explorer we can create a new database. We will see this option because it will give some more idea about how the memory is allocated, how the other things are allocated to a newly created databases. Okay, so how I went here, it says a database. You have to do a right click. After right click there will be an option of new database. Click on it, it will ask for a database name. Okay, so I'll create one database test underscore db. Okay, so I've given a name test underscore db. Owner is default. Then here are some additional parameters which it is taking up automatically as of now. Okay, you can specify it, but mostly it's kind of default things like logical name. It's the name which you have given to your db. It will create a log db separately, means it will create a separate space so that it can store some logs are nothing but what are the changes you are doing to your original database. Some metadata, everything will be stored in the log database. Okay, then file type, file group, initial size. So basically it is allocating 8 MB to the newly created database. You can change it here. If you want more size, you can give size as per the requirement. Then auto growth, this is actually a check. You can either activate it or inactivate it. Okay, if you don't want auto growth, you can just disable this check. But you want auto growth is basically it will automatically increase the size of database as and when required. Okay, so we will keep it checked. So once we reach the 8 MB size, we have more data, it will automatically increase the size of database to 64 MB by 64 MB. Okay, then we have a location where all this data will be stored. Okay, so if I click on OK, it will create a database with test db. That's it. So we'll click on OK. Yeah, so our database is created now. Yeah, so our database is created now. Okay, so this test DB is our first database. If we go inside in the tables, there is no table as of now. Okay, we have just created a database. Okay, next thing is okay, if you want to create a database not by this option, if you want to create by using a query, so simple queries like use, sorry, not use, we have to create one first. So create here we will again give some name. I'll give test underscore db1. Okay, test db we have already created, so we'll create another test db1. So this is a simple query you have to just mention. There are other parameters also which are required in order to create a database, but this is a simple one. Yeah, so I have executed this query and database is created now. It's not showing here, so once we go here database, right click, do a refresh, it will show all the databases which we have created. Now if you want some additional parameters to be added or how the additional parameters are there, we can go inside this db, we can go into script database ads. So once we do a right click, it will show one option of script database ads. So basically, if you want to script anything, like how the table is there, select query or create to query, drop to query. So this script option gives you the query created automatically. You don't need to write select star from table name. If you go right click on it and click on script there, then it will give you a automatic query. Like for create to, you have script database, then click on create to and can go into new query editor window. Okay, so basically here if you can see, SSMS automatically has given us a query of creating a database. Here if you see create database, it will create a test db1. As of now we can't create because we already have a database here, but we have just scripted the query of database creation. Okay, now here we have multiple parameters like name, it's a name of database, then file name where it will be stored, then size, it's basically around 8 MB only, maximum size is unlimited, file growth, it's around 65 MB. It's the same thing which we saw there in the object explorer. By doing the right click, it was showing when we created the database, it was showing that auto growth will be by 64 MB. It's somewhat similar to that. Okay, there the parameters was automatically picked. Here also when we created a database, parameters got automatically added. Okay, but when we are scripting here, it will show all the detailed query of a database creation. Okay, these are other checks like set these to off, set these to off, auto growth, auto shrink is off, auto update statistic is on. So these are multiple parameters which are set as on or off as per the requirement by default. Okay. Okay, now we have seen how to create a database by two ways. Okay, now inside the database, if we need a table to be created, okay, again there are multiple ways to create a table also. Similarly, how we did a database creation, we can do a table creation also. Okay, but before doing the table creation, we will see how we can upload a CSV file or flat file and create it as a table in our database. Okay, so let's see. First of all, we will get some. Okay, I have this file of customer sample data. It's a kind of generic sample file. Okay, it's a CSV file, text file, normal, and it is delimited by space. Delimited means how the program will identify what columns are there. What columns are there. Okay, if a program needs to identify two separate columns, then basically it will be separated by a space. Separated by a space. Okay, so after order ID, it will tab as this tab as a delimiter, and then order date will be our next column. Again, tab will be a delimiter, then customer name will be our next column. Okay, so we have this a sample file. Okay, now we will try to create a table in our database using this sample CSV file. We'll go to SQL. We will select a database in which we want to create a table. Okay, so as of now, if we go here, filter on tables, expand the tables tab, there is no table created as of now. Okay, now we will create a table. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to go click on database, right click on it, then there will be an option of task. Going inside the task, there will be two options basically: import flat file, import data. Import flat file will give option to import from a CSV file or a text file, but importing from if you have some other source like Excel file or some other ODBC connection, other database connection, then we have to click on the import data tab. As of now, we have only CSV file, so we will go for import flat file. I click on it. Okay, so it will ask for a location where the file is stored. Okay, so first of all, we will select our file. Click on browse. Here is the file which I want to upload it. Okay, customer sample data. I'll open it. So basically it is asking for a new table name. Automatically it has picked the file name. Okay, but if I want to change it, I want to assign some other name like customer underscore table. Okay, I want my table name as customer underscore table. Okay, so I've given this name. I'll click on next. It will show you how the data will be looking in your table. Okay, Here we can verify that order ID is one column, order date is another column, customer name is another column, city is another column. Okay, here it's sorting it out, but we need sorting only based on the order ID. Okay, if the data looks good here, all the columns are there, we will click on next. Okay, now it will ask that in out of the given columns, which column you want to be as a primary key. It's important to give a primary key because without a primary key, the constraints will not get satisfied. Okay, so at least you should have one of the column mentioned as a primary key. Okay, so basically we have order ID, which will be a unique column. Primary key, as we all know, it should be a unique column from the table. Okay, which will identify each and every row uniquely. So basically order ID is primary key. Then I just want customer name also to be a primary key. Okay, though order ID will not get duplicated in any way, but still I want customer name also. Okay, allow nulls. So allow nulls means that column should allow the null value. Okay. Order ID, as it is a primary key, we should not take it as allow nulls because it's a primary key. Primary keys cannot be null. Okay, now order date can be null. Then city we will keep it as okay. Order date also will keep it as mandatory. It should not allow nulls because date should get populated. City should get populated from where the order is coming. We can give segment. Then ship mode can be null. Category. Okay, some of the fields I'll just product name should be there. Cost, sales, profit, and quantity. Okay, so few fields we have assigned as allow nulls, so that those fields will allow the null value. I'll click on next. Okay, to complete the operation using the specific input, we have to click finish. So basically it is showing all the important import information like name. It's a basically our server name, host and server, then database name, tables name, and the file location which we are importing here. I'll click on finish. So the data is inserted and a table got created. I'll close this. Now here again we can't see any table, but I'll refresh the database here. Go to tables. Here we can see our table now, customer table, which will be a kind of exact replica of our um, Excel file or CSV file. Now this table is created under testdb. As of now, I am in the master database. Okay, if I want to go into that database, I'll use the command use test underscore d. Okay, control E. Control E is actually a shortcut key for executing a query. Here also you can execute. Okay, but you can use control E also in order to execute the command. Okay, now I will write a query to see the data from that table. Okay, select star from customer table. Okay, I'll execute again. Here we can see the data which we imported from the CSV file. Okay, so this is our whole data. Columns are there, 4115 rows are there, and we are in the testdb database. Okay, now here commands are quite easy. When we see the SQL codes are nothing, commands are nothing but our basic English language commands. Like if you want to use a database, just like use database name. If you want to select the data from the table, select star from table name. So basically these are simple commands from SQL. Okay, there are a lot of complex concepts also like joins and clauses and aggregate functions and indexing, in performance tuning. We will see in the upcoming videos. Okay, so this was all about creation of database, importing a CSV file in a database, creating a table based upon a flat file. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. If you are following our videos, if you want to learn more about the SQL, so do like, share, and subscribe our channel. And thank you very much. Bye.